Geiger counter in my hand.
I'm going out to take me some government land.
Uranium fever has
I can't think of a game development studio that's mastered merchandising quite like Bethesda. Their Bethesda gear store is packed full of merch that stays very close to the lore or fanfare of their games, but yet looks practical enough to actually wear out in town. Now, I'm not talking about the Pip Boy 2000 that we're reviewing here today, because I've already worn that out in town and I didn't get very good results. To get you all caught up to speed, Bethesda is selling licensed Pip Boys that are $220 out the door with shipping and tax, are collectibles that come with a certificate of authenticity, and only a couple thousand are going to be made. And I bought one because I'm a Fallout fan, and so you don't have to. We can see if it's a chunk of plastic poop or if it's literally functions like an actual Pip Boy. It's got a Geiger counter on there, a lot of dead buttons and dials that turn with no function, but it is pretty cool. Let's get into it. Now, these are limited edition collectibles. Limited edition meaning they're probably going to be pretty pricey. $180 is the recommended MSRP. However, out the door, it was about $220. It's going to be the same price for all of these. However, they do have a system in place to entice you to buy more than one, while also giving you a small discount as well. But in order to do it, you have to buy the first one, and then you get a discount on the second model. And then after buying the second one, you get a discount on the third model. So you technically have to pick up all three. I had no desire to do that. The only model that I wanted to pick up personally was the Viotek, because I think the paint job, the colorway, is the sickest out of the three options. The Sugar Bombs and Enclave one look okay, not bashing them. If you pick up that model, it looks cool, but I just think the Viotek one is what you think of with Fallout. With that blue and yellow paint job, it looks super sick. But it is the least rare model, as the first drop, which is the Viotek, is going to have 2,200 units, followed by 1,300 Sugar Bombs and 1,500 Enclaves. But just from looking at the landing page or the little teaser trailer on the blog post, you certainly cannot tell the build quality, the pros and cons of this collectible. I put my wallet in harm's way, and also I really wanted this thing anyway because it looks awesome, and it's going to go with my little Fallout shrine, as that is one of my favorite game series of all time. People say of all time. I guess that means of your lifetime. There's going to be an outer box with your shipping information. The inner box is undyed cardboard and does have the Viotek logo on the side. It was pretty difficult to get the box open without damaging or bending it. You do have a single page that is your instruction pamphlet, and you will notice that the verbiage or lingo is Fallout jargon, such as them calling the battery the power cells. This booklet is going to be your certificate of authenticity, and rather than having the specific unit or serial number printed in there, you are going to look on your model and fill this out yourself. There is a double-sided tool, flathead on one end, cross tip or Phillips on the other, and then the handle is Viotek as well. Very nice. Then you have an incredibly cheap and plastic feeling holotape, which slides into an equally cheap feeling holotape deck, which was partially broken on mine. It does close and open, however it's supposed to be spring loaded and mine's not. Not the prettiest packaging and not much of a presentation for what costs $220 out the door. One of the things I don't like is, since this is going to be a static display on that screen, it never changes. You can actually see what's going to be on the screen even when it's off. We are going to look at everything from buttons, buckles, dials, clamps, everything else. As for now, just bask in the glory.
uranium fever has gone and got me down. Uranium fever is spreading all around. With a Geiger counter in my hand.
The quality control problems start for me at the bottom with the holotape deck, which is broken, cocked at a weird angle on mine, and the spring loadedness simply isn't spring loaded, so it doesn't pop out. I kind of have to feed it out with my hand. Other than that, on everybody's model, you will notice that it is just stickers where it says 23 October 77, as opposed to being painted or something sexier than little visible stickers. That muted red button to the left of the Viotek logo can be pressed in, but doesn't do shit. The paint scheme actually looks phenomenal. I didn't see any major flaws, any running or any areas that didn't get coverage, and I will say the blue and yellow looks phenomenal. The screen is incredibly bright, however it is static. I would like if the knobs actually scrolled through the different menus, such as stats, item, data, and radio, but it simply doesn't. It's going to be the static screen, which is kind of crappy. It does flicker every few minutes, and giving it 3 sharp taps will stop the flickering and get the brightness back to 100. There is a large red button on the top, which feels a little bit squishy for my liking, but that will turn the screen on and off, which does fade in and out, which is a nice touch. The next major quality control issue is going to be the buckle, as it is plastic. Oh my god, Bethesda should have gone with with a metal buckle because this feels like an absolute toy and by far is the cheapest part of this collectible. I thought Toys R Us went out of business years ago, but I guess they made this buckle before biting the dust. Worth mentioning, it's not supposed to just pop open like this, but it has no holding strength whatsoever. But wearing the Pip Boy feels incredibly comfortable due to this nice plush padding, which is held together with Velcro. There is a red on and off toggle on the side, which lets you diddle and fidget with it. However, it doesn't actually control the Pip Boy. Same thing with this dial. Well, it does something. It actually moves this lever up and down, but it'd be cool if there was some kind of audio coming out of this. But there's no speaker, and other than the flickering screen and those orange glowing coils, no real visual effects here. I think Bethesda could have done just a little bit more. I love this metal placard. It's incredibly high quality and one of my favorite parts on this piece. However, looking just right above it, you see some incredibly cheap plastic with an ugly seam. Kind of takes you out of the immersion that this is a real Pip Boy under wrist. Back to the holotape deck, it's supposed to be spring loaded and just shoot up, and the plastic holotape is incredibly cheap. You can't put it in the wrong way as it is rounded on one end and then flat on the other. Having that little holotape is a cool touch. However, it was not implemented very well at all. This feature should have been done better or just completely left out of the final design because it feels incredibly cheap.
Attacking hostile.
By the way, if it sounds like the Battle of Normandy out there, I'm in the middle of a hurricane. That's a Lamborghini model, hurricane, or some kind of a natural disaster out there. Earthquake, flood, sandstorm, you pick your poison. The one that we get here in Florida, winds, rain. Completely impenetrable fortress here at the GamerHeaven. I am completely safe. Nothing can touch me or hurt me, but outside it's incredibly loud and annoying. So if it looks like I've been flashbanged or anything like that, my house has probably just been struck by lightning, but we're going to move on from it. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this collectible? Absolutely depends. Are you a big old fan of Fallout? Do you have room for this little thing in your game room? And can you accept spending $220 on a chunk of plastic that's probably going to sit behind you in your game room and flashlights? Well, when you word it like that, it sounds just silly. But for the diehard game collectors, there is only going to be a limited amount of these units produced. They are from the actual game developer, Bethesda. They don't feel too great, and if you get up close, you are going to see some imperfections and the cheapness of the plastics and whatnot. But on display from a distance, this thing looks freaking sick. She's flickering on me right now. I'll remedy it. The link to pre-order these is in the description below. The Viotek one is already tapped out. There's no more pre-orders, but the other two, the Sugar Bomb and Enclave, those are still grabbable, attainable. So those are linked in the description below. I'll see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at GamerHeaven. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of GamerHeaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting GamerHeaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.